Welcome, everyone. We are very happy and pleased that we are joined by Yomar Augusto. He's an exciting multidisciplinary artist from Brazil, but that now is this time is splitting between New York and California. Um, his amazing work, architectural lettering, murals, and paintings. He's always exploring different gestures of letter forms. So it's so exciting to see him and to hear him talk. He will give a specific special poem today, so we're all excited to hear this. Without further ado, Yomar, the floor is yours.
Oh, hi. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. So happy to be here. First time I been in a conference of ATypI was in 2004, Czech Republic. I think it was 2004, and I was a student at Royal Academy of Arts in The Hague, and now I'm here talking. So dreams come true, right? So you need to keep working hard, and thank you very much for having me here. I'm just gonna my presentation is called Anti-Type. It's not because I am against typography, right? It's just I try to keep pull out of. How can I turn it off? Yes. Anti-type means that it's not that I'm against type. Sometimes I need to pull yourself away from type to really to admire it, because typography is such a powerful art form and can take your entire life. So that's why there's so many type. It's very difficult to be a type designer and something else. So that's why I try to go against type sometimes, to be able to pull myself out to go into different mediums that I'm very passionate about, such bookbinding as the book you're seeing there, or photography, or filmmaking, or poetry, or painting, that I'm dedicating more my time towards to painting right now. So I decided to do a really quick introduction. I'm a Brazilian and recently became an American citizen. So I'm Brazilian American now, super proud. I grown up in Rio de Janeiro, where I have a master, was a BA. I did BA in graphic design in Rio. And after my graduation, I moved to New York for like a brief moment for a couple months. And unfortunately, was when the September 11th happened. So after the terrorist attack, I returned to Brazil. Unfortunately, I was very close, so I saw everything happen, like the towers falling and so forth. And then I returned to Brazil, worked as a freelancer, but I always wanted to move to Europe. So in 2004, I moved to Europe, and I lived in the Netherlands for almost 9 years, where I have my master degrees in typography at KBK, and I met amazing designers. It's pretty much where my life in typography actually flourished when I moved to the Netherlands. Not only type, but design, art, the whole creative world, the creative process. After 9 years, my life in Europe got a bit turbulent, and I have a lot of personal issues, and I decided to apply for a visa to the United States to return to New York, because that time in New York in 2001, I felt that was unfinished and uncompleted. So I decided to return. I got my visa on my own, and I moved on my own to New York City. That was very difficult, but it was amazing at the same time. Some of you know the city, and it's an amazing place for creatives, amazing creativity. And I've been there for 3 years. And then I met someone in New York. We decided to move to California, and in 2016, and I've been living in California since then. So I'm very happy here, closer to the ocean. I always want to be this Brazilian version of David Carson. That will always be my kind of, oh man, that would be nice if I can bike to the surf spot and come back and work after. And then, yeah, I did it. I'm not David Carson, but I'm admire him so much, and now I'm trying to come to this new lifestyle that I'm very happy about it. I decided to do. I love poetry, and I decided to do. Like to recite a poem for you guys about my life. So it's literally 20 years in maybe less than 2 minutes. So I hope you guys like it. because if there's any typos, I apologize. I found one, but it's going to be quick, so you're not going to even see it, I hope. But okay, the anti-type. Some water. Oh yeah, the poem is made by my handwriting and 20 years of typography. So it's pretty much I was collecting a lot of type that I've been designing this over this 20 years. The sounds of the birds, the smell of the rain, earth and simplicity. Near the rocks and the liquid form, life in Rio was very interesting. Outside life, climbing vertical walls, exploring the forest and the big city, connecting the natural world and the human world. That might be the real design process. Stepping back to dive into New York City, I found my hidden qualities inside a box called Persistance. Setting a goal, establish the momentum, using forgotten papers to build an empire. That experience molded my life into a form that I could not see, just to allow you to realize that life is short and we can't control it. The world ended in September. Moving back to Rio set my pace to my new target, the Netherlands. Like an inexperienced ant, I've carved my savings to change my life, acquiring enough stamina to climb 35 Everests to end up on 10 meters below sea level. Now I realize I own a lot to the Netherlands, but the Netherlands owns a lot to me as well. Leaving the lowlands to finish what I've started was relatively easy. The harder part was to face the angry side of reality. No makeup, no stylist, no relocation packages. Only the need to keep putting the head outside the windows of the big city. Wind, snow, heat, sweat, the entire 9 yards. Talking to strangers and finding the name of your closer friend written on bulb lights. Moving to California was a deep call. It was even easier. Let's just pack and go. Feeling the soft wind of strange decisions. Walking on the deep fog near the Pacific. Did I finally encounter paradise? I don't think so. Maybe a projection of it. The reflection of earth and simplicity. The circle closes, and I am truly happy. Happiness is a feeling you build day by day, like brick by brick. Okay, that's it for the poem. That's it for the presentation. Thank you very much. No, I'm joking. So I'm gonna, sometimes I do little jokes. So I'm gonna show you a little bit about my working process. This poem represents my 20 years of my life. So if you can do like, if you can 20 years of 22 minutes, 20 years in 2 minutes, that's it. It has been a journey and I'm truly happy. A simple life. The books are very important to me. I think if I say what's the most important process of my work is definitely the books, because they are literally studios in your backpack. You can carry them everywhere. So you can put in front of the computers, you can bring them to coffee shops, Now that we are so attached to the phones and to the devices, I think it's good to go back into the books. So I'm going to show you two books, and one books that I bound and one books that my sister bound. My sister her name is Rosa Guimarães. She owns Zupress in Brazil. She's one of the best art book binders in Brazil for sure. And I was very lucky to be her brother, young brother. So I was her assistant. My sister defines my life. So I'm absolutely, um, I don't know, I adore my sister. And she taught me so much. And this book particularly, I really like it because it's a book that I am not a professional, I'm not a classical calligrapher. I consider myself a disconstructed calligrapher, where I try to disconstruct calligraphy. Calligraphy sometimes for me becomes too boring, where everything become like you repeating the letter A constantly, and I can't deal with the repetition, and so I try to do layering. So I just destroy stuff that, oh, I love this, I'm gonna write on top of it. So I keep layering type and calligraphy and trying to see the depth of calligraphy. That's what I want. I want to create the depth of the words and try to find. And this book, particularly when they were larger papers, where I did bigger drawings, and then I just fold them and just bind them like absolutely uncontrolling. So when specific drawings match, they create a different drawing. That I like this constructing things where you don't have control of your work. I think sometimes calligraphy is too controlling. So the idea of how can uncontrol my calligraphy process always attracted me. So I love this book. There's a book, if I can say, this is a very important book to me. So this is a different book. This my sister did, so you can see that it's very different. This book took 6 months to be built, and this is a portfolio I took when I moved to the Netherlands. I have to say we should have not done this because it was absolutely lunacy to do this book. This book took 6 months to build. My sister just did that because I was her brother, and she said I would never, never, never do this again for anybody in the world. And for $1 million, each spine is a piece of Tyvek. So each color that you see is a little piece of Tyvek. The plastic is that plastics that you see when books come from shipping, from plastic round, when you have to wrap in a stronger way. So the book is a piece of scavenging. And then after, because it's all photographic, based on photography paper. So we need to create this strong spine to hold the book. And this book became a piece of book art. I'm very fascinated about maps, and I just construct the Amsterdam map to create this silk screen. It's a literally a poetry book as well, where I mix everything what I love into design, silk screen, photography, writing, painting. And sometimes in the Netherlands they didn't understand the book too much, but there wasn't like any statement. So I knew it that if you go to move to a country in the Netherlands as a third world designer, like if you from the third world, you need to do a strong statement. Otherwise, it's difficult for you to find a space. So the book opens up silk screens that end up wrong, and there's photography archive from my explorations during my time in Brazil. I always been very connected to photography. I almost became a photographer. Spent 6 months in black and white labs and photography. So for instance, all these presentations, I try to make like absolutely pristine photography presentation. It's very important for me. And again, is absolutely a bit abstract book. I think I went too far when I go back into this book and I go back, oh my God, I don't, I, why did I do this? I should have went there in a simpler way. But anyway, I did it. I went to KABK. I think I'm the first Brazilian in in Royal Academy. Was one of the biggest achievements of my life to study in the Netherlands. I have to say was something that I cherish so much as a badge of honor in my in my jacket. I went to the Netherlands to do text typeface. I want to do a text typeface. That always has been my plan. And I have to say, was a very painful, and very painful process for me. I would never, never, I would never, 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 never do this again in my life. I did once, went all the way to the top of the pyramid of typography, but I will never do a text typeface in my life again, ever, 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 never, never. But if anybody is unfinished, if somebody wants to help me out on the, the bold italic, please text me, email me afterwards. I need help to finish this because I cannot even look it. I mean, I just remember the pain. I like the German ass a lot, and my termination is. It was amazing to show this work to the masters in the Netherlands, Peter Verheul, Frank Brockland, Eric van Brockland. I mean, so many. And that was a dream come true, but dreams become nightmares, and I would never do this again in my life. But I'm very proud about the Decker project. The Decker name is funny because I didn't have internet. Was a name of the wireless that was open for a couple months in my house. It was called Decker, and the guy saved my life. This online was an open wireless that didn't require password, so I put it on the edge of the Decker. I have no idea what that means. So a couple more things about the bold version. So a lifetime project is definitely when I end up working at 180 Amsterdam as a graphic designer, type designer. We have the opportunity to be part of this project, where part of the uppercase came directly from the design department of Adidas. And me, my boss, Julian Wade, we worked super hard on this project, expanding the character set. We build the remaining part of the uppercase. We worked hard on the numbers. We build the lowercase. We build the entire character set of the font. Was a very a collaborative process through the design department of Adidas, us in 180 Amsterdam. If you guys don't know, 180 Amsterdam was one of the important advertising agencies in Amsterdam. That was I don't know if they are anymore, but they were working a lot with Adidas before, and was another badge of honor to be able to be part of 180 Amsterdam. I want to put here on record. That was amazing part of my life to be part. Another badge. So if you think your life has badges that you go collect them, this is another one of them for me. So again, I didn't like that much these pictures. I think they were too real, right? But then I have a television. There was a tube television in my house, so I was doing my own photography because I like the raster from the tube. Now we don't have that with the flatter screens, but with the raster, this rasterization from my television, I loved it, and I was photographing very close. It was difficult. And this was my shots from the television. Unfortunately, I'm Brazilian. And Brazilian Argentina rivalry in football. We hate each other in football. We don't hate each other. We love each other. But in football, we hate each other. So, but Brazilian was a Nike team, and Argentina is a Adidas team. I said, oh man, I would love to Brazil be with my type, right? That would be awesome. So you know what? I'm gonna wait for an Argentinian player suffering on the floor, on the ground, on the grass with my typeface. I literally wait for hours for this shot, but I got it. One Argentinian guy on the ground suffering with my typeface. That was it's funny, such a silly joke, but I wait a lot for this shot. These are all my shots, and anyway, and I got it. That's already moving a project that I started in the Netherlands, and this project is going to be a lifetime project for me. One font, several projects. I designed this font that was based for laser cut, and I've been exploring this font a lot, it's a typeface specifically to be able to be a stencil, pretty much. And I've been this is actually done laser cut. I cut this on my silhouette machine here in the studio. So, but the idea is visualization of journeys. I want to visualize the journey. So a person tell me the journey, which countries are important to you, where locations are important in your life. I will find the maps, and the collector give me a name or a word. For in this case, life, and I use 4 maps, and I will I visualize your journey. So that's a project that I'm doing right now as an art project. It's a mix when my typography work collide with my art projects. So a couple more details of the piece. I call this project called All About My Maps. This part of this one is actually 2 layers. And I've been mixing a lot letterpress, histograph, laser cuts, plotter. I love mixing techniques and process. My work is based on process. So the next part of this presentation, I'm going to talk about process. Process is a fundamental part of my life. And some of the details, because these actually always I want to get, that's the quality. Like it's all digital printing where I cut, but they become like original pieces. I really love digital printing. I think is a fascinating medium, and it's super flexible and fluid. I love the fluidity of digital printing. I have, and this is a different one. There's actually books where I literally laser cut the entire maps, and then I fold them, and then the pages are absolutely random. Again, a little bit like the disconstruct calligraphy. I disconstruct type. I try to disconstruct things and construct them back. Pretty much it. It's like destruction to construction. So you construct, construct, destruct. So this is absolutely random. So I put the pages, and the pages are, something's going to happen. Sometimes I'm more interested than others, but something always happens. So I love the idea of the unpredictability of art and design and type. This is something that is important to me. There's a couple more pages of this burning books. These are different pieces. These are original maps, laser cuts, and these are original ones. So the originals I don't sell. I keep them. I could sell depending of the price, but since that I want to do more massive production, I've been scanning them, especially the backgrounds, to finding the beautiful mixing maps and risographs. So these are real atlas there. I go to secondhand shops and I find them and cut the books, cut the maps, extract the maps that I need. For instance, that one is New York City, and is a continually layering idea of this work. So the word vary, you guys can see. So and the purple part, the purple letters there is all letterpress that I printed in New York. So I keep since there are maps and this project talks about location, I tend to bring these maps in different locations. I cut laser here. I would letterpress them in a different place. I will silk screen in a different place, and then I collect them in the studio to make you move as well. It's important to me to make this project to move, because it's all about path and destination. Some other samples of all of my maps, and this is like when you frame them and you see them, you can put. I like to put frames on the floor. I rarely put frames on the wall. I like once in a while I change the look, because when they're on the floor you can move them around. So I don't have a lot of furniture in my house, so you can easily move them around. These are different ones. They are like more like digital prints directly mixing with my illustrations. So, and things that I found in old books and stuff. It's the same typeface, and is already moving towards a more illustrative approach. So you can see here I mix with I constantly sketching and drawing. I've been a little bit obsessed with plants, so I've been drawing my plants. I said, can I mix type with plants? Because they grow, type grows, plants dies, type dies, and there's a kind of this relationship. This is a digital print exercise. That's a different approach from the maps process. This actually in near U-Track. This collector collects 2 letters, and they are custom made, right? So I'll probably not print them much, like maybe 10, because I'm building the whole alphabet. I call this series Extravaganza series, but it's absolutely the same typeface. So I use the typeface into different projects. So you can see the letter T, some of the I try to create the same depth of the laser cuts through the digital and the registration process. A couple of the letters R, Z, N. I've been working a lot of interior designers, so I custom made this project for the interior designers, commissions and so forth. And also I love silkscreen. For me, silkscreen is the ultimate printing method. So I always love to mix, especially when you can control the overprint. So you can see the white is a little bit more transparent, and you can see the black passing through, and then the gold will go on top. I work with Zen Serigraphy in Brazil for years. It's all printed in Brazil. They are the masters, There's a master printer there. We worked together for years. If you guys want the contact, I can get it. They'll be very happy to work with you. So I take the type and create texture of the type, and through my digital illustration, like constructing my grids. That's one thing that I learned a lot in the Netherlands, how to build my own grids. And nowadays, the grids became very important part of my design process. So you can see the quality of this print is absolutely mind blowing. The process, not the works mind blowing. I'm saying the quality of the quality of the print, of course. And I did this piece when I moved to when I moved to the United States. So I gave this as a poster, as a gift, because I always, when a strong moment in my life happens, I always do a poster to give to people for free or as a gift. These were for special clients, and then I did this. Like I'm moving back to New Amsterdam because New York was New Amsterdam back in the days. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about process. The process is very important to me. So I'm going to show you the process of advertising that I work a lot for, doing advertising typography for communication agencies, not only for advertising, but for tech companies, design studios, brand agencies, and so forth. So I take a word like impossible, and I will literally dig in to construct the type. Everything that I do is custom made for advertising. So it's trying to, like, you don't hold yourself in the production, you construct, you start for the line and start to impossible, and you build it until you find the things that you like. And when you build it, you start to experiment. For instance, I built this typeface that was supposed to, I want to do a mural. We had the opportunity to do a mural here in San Diego, and I literally construct a typeface that fits the thickness of the brick wall. So it was the first time that I was like, okay, typography and art and murals outside could be something interesting when I linked with architecture. I particularly don't understand graffiti. I don't like it. I don't. It's not. But I'm very interested about murals, and where, especially when the work fits with the architecture. For instance, this typeface was designed to fit 4 brick high and fit exactly inside of the thickness of the brick. So I went there, I measured the brick, I custom made the toe type, and I had opportunity to cut the whole alphabet in this laser cut big stencils, like half a size, a little bit larger than half of my body. You're gonna see the size of it. It's pretty big. I have the entire alphabet. So this has been custom made specifically for this black wall. And that was the first time I realized, hey, wait a minute, we can push the typography into the environment in a very contemporary way, and actually respecting the mirror, respecting the wall, respecting the type, construct something that's custom made. And something that I can take and use this for other projects for sure. I have the entire case. They're heavy, but I'm not gonna throw away. So I even put the name of my sister in the middle, Rose, there. My name Rosa. And everything was like this. I wanted this 4 letters, life, zero, ciao. It was my first time. I see a lot of mistakes here, but and I actually was the first time that, hey, wait a minute, Yomar, you can push into murals and things being very interesting in this realm. I'm not gonna talk too much about murals in the presentation because I want to focus on the typography part, but I'm very happy about this project. And process is a process, right? Everything is a process for me. So this is the first project that actually I saw the stencil and the laser cut and the depth. So I did this in the Netherlands. I was working for institution. I think it's a printing museum in Groningen. And that was the first opportunity that I had opportunity to see my typeface on in laser cuts. And when I got it, I saw it. For some reason, they sent me, you can see on the top corner on the right side, there's a mistake on the letter E. So I think the supplier just sent 3 copies instead of 1. And when I start to rotate them, I started to see that, oh man, I can create a lot of depth on and this project changed my life into my art world, my artwork. When I saw this, this could be used for many different possibilities, for light, glass, neon, metal, you name it, foils, I don't know, this open up. So the process and mistakes and something that you not expected open up possibilities for design. So keep this idea of keeping your mind open for the unexpected is something that is fascinates me, you know. So, and then I move into this project. There was a typeface that was specific to be laser cutted, a typeface that is very delicate, but when you cut it, it's not delicate anymore. It's a bit, this is a project that I would love to follow through and construct the whole alphabet and a full font. But again, to be able to develop your typefaces to the end, you need to donate a lot of your life into type, and that's something that I'm not ready, and I don't want to do. That's where the anti-type means I want to do other things. So but I'm building, I'm acquiring more, working with assistants to help me out to build and find and conclude my type. It works with professional type designers that can, the type developers can help me out to finish the typefaces. So process again, silk screen, the same company, design serigraphy in Brazil. Process always been important to me, like letterpress. This a variation from that type, a little bit more. I think less condensed, a little bit more extended variation from the mural type. And this is interesting. I think is that when I type, is a kind of, I call this coding type, where I print the black parts, the vertical black parts in laser, in black and white laser in my studio, and then I etch it, the type, the horizontal on laser, not to entirely perforated, just to etch it. So if you see the details, the etches become a little bit like, you cannot control the etch it. So you can control the black part, but you cannot control the etching part. So it's interesting to work with the machines. And then you scan them in absolutely billion DPIs, and you get this weird things that I particularly love it, you know. And there's a version that I just like in like, instead of to etch it, I etch the outline of the black part. So this is a typeface that I've been working on. It's a little bit like more sounded. You see there's a pounding in the middle, like the letter E. I always try to create this space on this. I have to, this project is, the thing is, I produce so much that sometimes I just forget about the projects and then go back to them down the road. So this is a project that I'm working right now. This is all personal stuff, right? There's no clients. There's no clients as well. This is something that I built from typeface and here poster. So you are here, but then you can, I print and I will write aliens alive. So aliens here alive. So this is a project that I'm gonna move forward next year. So you can tell me what the two words you want. I will write it and I will send you the poster here. So UK here and now, not anymore, right? UK is Brexit. So not here. So no here, yes. So what's your here, right? Being here, being present is important. So, and if past and future is sometimes you think too much about the past, sometimes you think too much about the future, but what's here means to you, right? I try to be as present and here and the day as much as I can. And always going back to calligraphy, always writing, always I see like I've been writing with less ink to see the raster and the texture of the brushes and stuff like that. So now, what's happening now? Talk about here right now. So now I having amazing opportunities in life. Something that this is a project that I work with Andy Clymer. He's a creative director of was Alexa O'Banion. She's not working at Mingay design department anymore, but put on the record here. This is a typeface always based on a strict grid, a mono space. I always want to do a mono space. I don't know, because it was in fashion. Always been fascinated about mono space, but I found this and it was an opportunity to design the corporate identity and the typeface. So the typeface moves around because Mingay International Museum is so large as a name. So we have these movements that create the shapes, and the shape and the creative department we use the shape. So it's a little bit of flexible system. I'm very interested in flexible systems. I've been researching onto this since the Netherlands a little bit, mixing grids and typography and corporate identity with flexible systems are incorporated. And typography is a powerful way. So actually, I found, I should have put it here in the presentation. I found this dress. The museum is very nice. They collect design process, but design process for several different cultures. There was a dress, a Cuban dress, And the Cuban dress was made in stripes of tobacco leaves. I should have put it here in the presentation because the typography is absolutely based on that dress. And the dress is all a large, huge grid system. And I just, okay, man, that's the chance you have to build a monospace. You can defend is based on that tobacco dress, and we won it. I mean, it was and I created this tight grid working with Andy. Andy is one of the best type developers I worked in my whole life. Probably most of you guys know him. And I'm lucky to call him my friend. We were classmates at ATypI, and lucky me. I'm a lucky guy. So I put the light here because I kind of like the light a lot, because we use like these perforate dots as the dot for the eyes. But again, if you want to see the work, I have this feeling. If the work works, photograph your work. So I photograph all the specimen and see how it works into photography, right? And I love photography, so I try to photograph everything I do as it's a lot of work, but at the end worthwhile to have it. And the client is dependent. Andy, my boy, look at you. Andy. And that's a couple more pictures of them. And then I don't have the pen. I need to hunt this pen down. I need to have it. I don't have it. I have these love photographies from the Ron Perlman, no, Perlman, that's an actor. Ron, I forgot his the family name. He's a photographer from the museum. He gets this beautiful photography. Again, I'm updating my website. My website is totally out of dated, and I'm updating it to the end of the year. So these pictures are not even there. So flexible type systems, right? So I'm working for a couple of years on this particular system. I built this grid, and inside of this grid, I build type. So if I give you this system to you, Petra, will design a different system, a different type. So that's all about love and hate, love and hate. So inside of the system, there's the letter L there, if you can see it. And then you can see letter O, letter E. This is a very interesting system that I've been still working at. And then I tend to stop working and then move the system into a different medium. So I literally did I did a couple of executions with this grid to see if the system works. So I printed again with Zang serigraph from Brazil, a little bit thicker. So this is super thin. So the grid actually changes its own thickness as well. So it's not only you can control the thickness, you can control the drawings. And you can construct the lines, this typographical lines approach that I have no idea where it's going. I would like to give it somebody else to use it and to help me out. Maybe a different approach. You might gonna find it. It's pretty connecting and making shapes and making type and exploring. You can see both of them there, where I printed laser in the black and white laser on a yellow paper. I love that kind of yellow. And as you guys can see, I love yellow. And I printed this thickener. So you get the thick and the thin, and I was kind of researching a little bit. And printing the system, that's what I'm working out. If there's any publisher here listening, that will be my portfolio. I'm looking for to publish it maybe in a couple years. It's a book that I'm working. And this book is entirely made in silkscreen, laser cut, plotter print, and now I'm using stencil prints on them. So the books, I bound them myself. My sister will be proud. And it's kind of cool that you can see the folding part. Again, always just construct the work. So the combinations are never, I don't plan them that much. So I want to see what's going with I did the random presentation. Sorry if you guys are seeing a sound. Some guys blowing like grass around here outside of the house. I'm so sorry about that if you guys are hearing a sound. But this book I'm very happy about it because it's part of the same system but I'm using different kind of machines. So there's lasers, there's plotters, there's the silk screen that I print previously, and I with the pages open, I keep drawing on them. Sometimes it's just a piece of the system, not the entire thing, to create this simplicity. Sometimes they become more laborious. Sometimes they become very soft. So I'm gonna sum up with the project of very project in my life that I was working for almost 2 years with Brand Union in Stockholm, and the guys from Latin from Sweden, and the creative direction is from Brand Union in Stockholm, lovely brand agents. So what can I say? Simple. I was part of the, brand writing, a lot of lettering for original Swedish vodka. So the rebrand, I was part of the project. So this is my brand writing on Swedish vodka, and I work really hard on that. I literally, and because the type is part of lettering and part of a custom made type, open type, handwritten open type. So it's a lot of drawings, triplets, pairs. Andy was super kind to give me a hand of the coding for the triplet drawings, because if that's OGK, it's going to be different than OGI. So there's almost like more than 2,000 drawings that I've been producing into this project. That's the main calligraphy, the main lettering work, and that's a couple lettering that I did for the cans for the sparkling series. And there's a couple of, I literally filled books and books and books of writing. I even did a film I was planning to put here, but I decided to not put any film into the presentation. And that's a couple of the typeface that Letters from Sweden developed it and worked together. I was very humbled to work with such a beautiful team, creative direction by Brand Union in Stockholm, and Letters from Sweden. That's it. Thank you very much for the opportunity. That's a picture of my studio right now. As you can see, I am a painter that does type, and I want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to have me here.
That was wonderful. There's space for
Wow, really
questions now.
impressive. So amazing.
Thank you for the opportunity.
People are just clapping. No wonder. Do ask questions. Now we have opportunity to get any specific.
If you guys want to move to the hangout room, I have 15 minutes. Or you in charge.
Let's just wait a little bit if people will have some questions, maybe. You can also type questions in the chat.
Yeah, my goals right now are very simple, like I want just to paint and make specific design type projects. Focus more in mirror work, more murals.
Cool. There are two questions in the chat. Well, one is observation and then two questions. The observation goes like this: too much to think about to form a question straight away. It sent me on a mind trip. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Nice.
That's the one. I'm not sure if everybody can see everything. And the question is, I know you from Irma. I know you collaborated with Carne Asada. How much collaborations like that help you elevate your own experimental type practice?
Oh, let me see it. Somebody. It was awesome to work with Francisco. Was great to be working with was a different experience to work with the Brazilian and the Mexican embassy. So it was very interesting to work with was a different experience regarding like dealing with consulates and stuff like that. That I didn't have that experience. So it was very what was nice, but at the same time it's difficult for you to do the transition between design and fine arts. It's very difficult. I don't, and I'm trying to understand that now. I'm probably gonna take so many years or maybe a whole life to understand. It's just something that you have to build slow by slower by slow, you know. But it was a very interesting opportunity in Los Angeles. That was my first opportunity in Los Angeles, and that was very important.
Okay.
It's funny that I remember that.
There's another question
Mm-hmm.
from Yurko.
Mm-hmm.
You use a lot of maps in your project. Maps are copyrighted. How do you deal with that, with the copyright?
That's a nice question. I did my diligence and talked to lawyers about it, and I don't take that map and then I scan the map and I sell the map. You know, and then I'm not making $1 billion off that map. You know, and when I'm altering the map, so there's an alteration of the maps, and I try to use older maps as well. They're like after at least in the United States, they are published like after 1921. You can use them, but I'm altering the maps. I'm not like copying them and using the maps. And then I think if did I answer your question? I think I'm altering them. There's an alteration. I'm not copying them. I'm altering them into my artwork, and I'm not making a mass production. I'm not mass producing them and reproducing them. It's just one unique piece. That's it. And then I'd never use that map again.
Yep. There's a comment that the copyright is for 70 years. I think, Yves, that comes when you have an author. But
I think
the same for maps. You know, somebody could be an author of a certain map. It's not always organization or something, but depends. Yeah.
But again, you're not taking the map and reproducing the map and selling the map. It's like somebody. You just like altering it. So, and then I think copyright is always regarding if the particular company has been. I'm not gonna interfere with the map profit with one piece of my work. You know, it's all about interfering. If you interfere in the market, if you interfere in the market, I think that's when you have problems. If you take a photography somebody else and reproduce the photography and making millions of money off that photography, that's actually the problem is, you know. But you're altering it and using in a unique. I think about that all the time because it's important to me. It's good because I've been actually researching about a lot. But depends where the maps published.
I think we have room for one more question then before the next talk begins. And it's from Ivan. He asks, how did the Swedish ad agency reach out to you to work on the project, the Absolute Vodka project?
Well, I met one of the designers in New York, and that designer put me into the list of the pitch. Wasn't something they oh Yomar, your work is great, we invite you. It wasn't like this. It was like was a pitch. So I pitched my work and I won the pitch, you know. So it was kind of a mix of fate and hard work.
Excellent. I think that's a very good last statement, maybe in the official presentation. Yeah, it's always really hard work, and you showed it really
Oh
well.
yeah, no doubt. It's all about. I believe in fate. I believe in luck, but I believe that you have to work hard to find the luck.
Exactly.
But it's always a mix of hard work, hard. I mean, you have to sweat. There's a lot of sweat for sure. Nothing's easy, and but it's always a mix of faith, hard work, and persistence. There's nothing. I mean, never happened with a company. Oh, Yomar, we love your work. We want to hire you. That doesn't happen. You know, you need to. I'm constantly hunting them down. I do books. I print stuff. I print my books. I spend a lot of money sending books all over the world, like little publications. I'm a hunter. You know, there's nothing comes to you as a gift. There's no gift. Success is a byproduct. You know.
Yomar, I think you have so much more to share. I would invite people to move to the breakout room. We have a few more minutes with Yomar before he disappears to his family obligations.
Yeah, I have to go at 11ish.
So,
I will go there really quick, but I have to go.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody who wants to join him here, there, sorry, let's move to the next room and make space for another lecture. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yomar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yomar.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.